All right. Thanks for joining us. This is the recorded session from the Directors of Special Education or DOSE Institute that occurred back in September. Thanks for joining us. We are a part of the American Rescue Plan or ARP. Within the Office of Special Education and Early Learning. Today we will be discussing the initiatives that we have in early learning and IDEA transition. I am Jason Wheatley. I'm a post-secondary transition specialist working through the American Rescue Plan with OSEAL. As part of our team, we are proud to present Tracy Sharp as a project lead. We have Jillian McGraw as a project advisor on our team. And to talk a little bit about the goals of our project, we have Alicia Reeves.
Hi, I'm Alicia Reeves, the Assistant Early Learning Administrator for the Early Learning Unit within the Office of Special Education and Early Learning. And as a part of ARP Early Learning focus, and that's preschool through second grade, our project goals were to identify students who experienced the greatest loss of instruction due to the COVID-19 pandemic, determine evidence-based high-leverage practices that would help teachers close those learning gaps and reduce the number of inappropriate referrals and identifications for special education, and to improve equity of opportunity for all exceptional learners. The ARP Early Learning Team is a team of experts from across the state of Kentucky. We have Lori Bean, who comes to us as a curriculum specialist serving a preschool and kindergarten center. Her focus is on literacy. Jennifer Hagan, who is an experienced preschool teacher who worked in the preschool classroom, as well as serving her district as a district liaison, and has just a wealth of knowledge and experience about quality preschool programs, curriculums, and how to serve young children in the preschool classroom. And then we have Kathy Meredith, who serves as our PBIS, Pyramid Model expert, and provides trainings and works closely with our regional training centers to provide supports to districts across the state.
Okay, thank you, Alicia. As part of the American Rescue Plan for Transition, the office understood that the COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on transition for students with disabilities. And our team was charged with the following project goals. That is to assist students with disabilities in achieving their post-school and career goals, very student-centered focused. Additionally, we understand that this work cannot just strictly live internally within our K through 12 education system. We must engage, collaborate, and coordinate with institutes of higher education, private industry to promote those post-secondary outcomes for our students with disabilities or exceptional learners. Additionally, one of our project goals included support to Western Kentucky University's Gatton and Morehead State University's Craft Academies. All right, on this slide, you will see the wonderful images of Dr. Lynn Petrie and myself. We are both serving as post-secondary transition specialist within the American Rescue Plan team. We do have another professional that we're excited to showcase in a later slide that has a monumental impact on the work that we are doing in Kentucky on behalf of students with disabilities and their transition. So we will, at a later slide, identify another wonderful colleague and team member. Okay, so on this slide, you will see a visual of the state of Kentucky that we are all very familiar with. And then also you will see highlighted counties that to date in September, early September, at the DOSE Institute, these were the counties that our Office of Special Education, Early Learning, American Rescue Plan Fund monies or dollars has touched. And so this is a geographical representation of where that funding has gone through both initiatives in terms of early learning and post-secondary transition, the work of both teams. And then really the emphasis on this slide is knowing that this is about opportunity and about something that is growing. So probably even to date, now that it is November, when this recording is taking place, you'll see that highlighting would have changed. But the thing to know is that this is a growing opportunity, and we look forward to working with you. On this slide, you'll see a different representation of that data through the names of the counties and systems that are participating or have participated or have been touched in some way by this American Rescue Plan funding. All right, and we'll turn it back over to Alicia to talk a little bit about projects and initiatives.
Thank you, Jason. So one of the projects that the early learning portion of the American Rescue Plan team is working on is a teacher leader community. And our goal here is to build teacher leaders in preschool across the state of Kentucky. It's a collaborative network of early learning teachers, and in this space, they're allowed to share ideas and support one another in educating our youngest learners. To date in September, we had 87 applicants across 52 districts. We now currently in November have 73 participants who are actively participating in the teacher leader community. It is a 2-year commitment. We are in the process currently of holding regionally located in-person events where our teachers are learning about leadership, professional learning communities, developmentally appropriate practices, and again, those high leverage evidence-based practices. Other opportunities that will take place will be virtual events where we will collaborate and discuss family and community engagement, kindergarten transition and how to effectively collaborate with our kindergarten teachers, and other parts of early childhood such as addressing social, emotional, and behavioral needs in the classroom, literacy, and math. The next area that we're looking at is supporting our new administrators in preschool and in special education. So OSIL guiding, uniting, and inspiring directors of early learning and special education is a mentorship program open to new administrators. And to date, we are in the process of matching those new administrators to mentors across the state. And this will provide an opportunity for individualized guidance and support. We are also looking at, as a part of ARP early learning support, at the pyramid model for early learning. And for this, we are supporting our regional training centers with pyramid PBIS coaches who will use the pyramid model to support PBIS in preschool. And those interested can reach out to their regional training center to learn more about the different levels of support. There is a universal level of support in which districts can receive training holistically overall in PBIS for preschool. Then there is targeted support where the RTC coaches may come in and help work in an individual classroom or help train a coach within the district. And then there's intensive support that includes observations, just looking at classrooms and programs overall and supporting an internal coach so that the district can build sustainability and also support with monthly meetings around PBIS. And then in the area of literacy, one thing that we've recognized is that our children's language development was significantly impacted by the pandemic, especially our youngest learners, because they did not have the opportunity to interact with a lot of people in a lot of different settings outside of their homes. So we found it really important to understand and know how the brain learns to read, and how through knowing how the brain learns to read, we can support our children in their oral language development and hopefully reduce inappropriate referrals for evaluation. Now, Jason, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Alicia. So kind of shifting gears back to the area of transition, IDEA transition, post-secondary transition for students with disabilities, and how we are addressing the COVID-19 impact through this American Rescue Plan team. One of the activities that we had at the DOSE Institute back in September was really intentional about ensuring that we have a very comprehensive, shared understanding of what this word transition really means. Transition is a word that gets used in a lot of different contexts. And through this activity, we have come to understand that transition education is a phrase, a definition, a focus of our project that is brought to us by the National Technical Assistance Center for Transition, or INTACT. And what we have done is we have taken all of our knowledge, experience, professional knowledge base, and we have ensured that on behalf of the systems, the stakeholders that we seek to support, that all of that work aligns with the National Technical Assistance Center for Transition and the information that they use to support their stakeholders. Also, because this is an American Rescue Plan project, you'll hear that we always are tying in that commonality of addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. Within the context of transition, we know that the pandemic had all kinds of different implications on students transitioning to post-secondary environments. Just to name one, is that it really disrupted opportunities for students to engage in work-based learning, experiential learning. So again, with the theme of the National Technical Assistance Center for Transition, or INTACT, one of the initiatives that we have is the Predictor Implementation Self-Assessment. This is where we have migrated a self-assessment tool through INTACT into a Google form. We are working closely with a cohort of districts, our cohort 1 model, to ensure that there is a system in place that will promote transition for students with disabilities. This involves completing that self-assessment, assembling that team, and then focusing on these predictors. On the bottom of this slide, you'll see 23 predictors of post-school outcomes for students with disabilities. They're not causal, but they are correlational in that if a student's educational program includes these predictors, they are more likely to have a positive post-school outcome in either education, training, employment, or independent living. So a flow chart or an infographic highlighting what that project looks like and those district partnerships for promoting predictors of post-school success. You will see on the left in the first text box, it really involves using that framework that is embedded within that self-assessment to determine the degree to which your program, a school district or a school's program, is implementing practices that are likely to lead to more positive post-school outcomes for students with disabilities. That is the focus, those 23 predictors. It's really intentional about convening a district transition team, could be a school transition team that engages both internal, external stakeholders, outside agencies, a variety of roles and professionals and stakeholders, and then working with the support of our team and the American Rescue Plan funding, developing an action plan that is going to promote the engagement or implementation of those program characteristics and predictors to support student success. something that we were able to highlight in the spring of last school year, and we anticipate being able to provide this opportunity again this upcoming spring is really celebrating student success around the state. We did so through our Powered by Inclusion Scholarship Program. 2 students per school district were offered the opportunity to be identified through this scholarship program. Those students had to be post-secondary ready within the accountability model of Kentucky. We were excited to honor and celebrate 87 students. We awarded $217,500 in awards for those students. And we're looking forward to this opportunity again in the spring. All right. Without further ado, and I provided a bit of a teaser early on when we introduced our team of professionals within the transition team. We are excited to celebrate the development of a new role. We have a fantastic educator and professional, and I will turn it over to him.
Thanks, Jason. I am Bill Bates. I'm the Exceptional Child Education Consultant for Career and Technical Education, serving as a liaison between the Office of Special Education and Early Learning and the Office of Career and Technical Education, focused on how we can best support students with disabilities and teachers in CTE programs and pathways. Many times students with disabilities gravitate toward and can be successful in hands-on project-based learning. And we know that if we can get students to a concentrator level, they're more likely to be completers. They're more likely to pass into program assessments and industry certifications. They're more likely to successfully transition to the post-secondary, whether that's employment or further education. So we look at 2 primary things. We need to make sure that we're doing a great job in elementary and middle schools with career exploration, awareness, and engagement. And then in the high schools, we have intentional placement, participation, immersion, and support for the students with disabilities. Secondly, we need to make sure that we have great communication and interaction between CTE teachers, special education teachers, counselors, administrators, IEP, and ARP teams, and that we're providing integrated professional development opportunities for CTE teachers to better understand special education, and also for special education teachers to better understand career and technical education. And we know that if we can provide more support and have more success for students with disabilities, that means more success for all students.
And that leads to the projects I'll be talking about. I'm Lynn Petrie, part of the transition team. And the projects that I'm going to be introducing are a couple that centers around the area technology centers, the CTE, because early on we noticed that CTE is a predictor of positive post-school outcomes, and we wanted to add additional support to those programs. The area technology center, we wanted to kind of stay in tune with our state position that we created and create a local position, because area technology center is kind of unique in it serves different school districts. So we wanted to add a position to help that center in the area of recruitment and enrollment, just to get students on that pathway to career or to complete a course pathway in those jobs that they want to pursue. We wanted to create career awareness on what those centers offer, and so that knowledge is spread. We also wanted to just provide support to the instructors and also for the special education teachers in those districts to understand what is being offered at that area technology center. The purpose and action is a unique challenge that's aligned perfectly with our United We Learn initiative by the Kentucky Department of Education. It takes 3 partners in industry, in community, and in education, and it creates a design challenge that creates accessibility in the industrial setting. What that challenge is, the design challenge is school districts are going to be given a piece of equipment from Parker Hannifin, which is an industry that's going to be participating with us. The goals for that design challenge is that, number one, that piece of machinery has to have ADA compliance. So they want to address different disabilities to create an entry-level position. They're going to look at quality control, how efficient that the machine is after that, and the overall cost of the design and the prototype that the students come up with to offer in a presentation to Parker Hannifin. Any questions? Here's our contact information. If you would like to be involved in any of these projects or would like to learn more, here is our emails. So give us a quick follow-up. Thank you for your time.